Hello, my fellow shareholders. Kuyana for taking the time to learn about an important issue on this year's proxy. As many of you already know, last December, the Board of Directors unanimously approved a resolution to include open enrollment on the 2025 proxy to reflect the evolving priorities and value of its shareholders. Let me briefly walk you through how we got here. We began in 1972 with 6,333 original shareholders. Today, through gifting and inheritance, we've grown to over 8,200 shareholders. An amendment to ANCSA allowed corporations to add new shareholders through a vote. Since then, 6 of the 12 regional corporations have elected to issue new shares to descendants. In 2012, the board established the Open Enrollment Subcommittee. Over the years, we've conducted in-depth evaluations, considered shareholder feedback, financial analyses, and a long-term vision for BSNC's future, including interest for open enrollment. As shown by the responses, shareholders have become increasingly interested in opening the rolls to descendants. Coupled with BSNC's steady financial growth, this provides shareholders with a greater sense of comfort in expanding the shareholder base and the benefits we can offer. That brings us to where we are today. The details were carefully developed based on shareholder feedback, reflecting the priorities and concerns of our people. By placing it on the proxy, it further demonstrates the board's commitment to shareholder input. The board is empowering shareholders to determine the future of BSNC's enrollment policies. If the majority of shareholders vote yes, 50 new Class C shares would be available to individuals who are a lineal descendant of an original shareholder. A lineal descendant is a natural or adopted child of an original shareholder or their descendants. Descendants cannot be enrolled to another regional corporation, but can hold other corporation shares if they were gifted or inherited those shares. In addition, it would also create Class D shares that would be available to missed enrollees. Missed enrollees would receive 100 Class D shares upon enrollment. Now, we will highlight some of the top questions asked by shareholders.
The first one is why, who, and when. By bringing this resolution forward, the board is honoring its commitment to listening to shareholders and addressing their aspirations for the corporation's future. In August, shareholders eligible to vote will receive a proxy with the open enrollment question. Shareholders can vote up until the annual meeting on October 4th.
These are the current shares. After the passage of ANCSA, BSNC issued 2 types of shares. If you are a shareholder today, these are the types of shares you'd hold. These shares will not be impacted should open enrollment take place.
If shareholders vote to open enrollment, 2 additional classes of shares will be created. 50 Class C shares would be available to descendants born after December 18, 1971, and would be life estate. Life estate means the shares would be returned to the corporation after the passing of the shareholder. New 100 Class D shares would be available to missed enrollees.
So why 50 shares for descendant enrollees? Since inception, many original shareholders have chosen to gift their shares to descendants or family members. Therefore, they hold fewer than 100 shares issued at the time of ANCSA. This has allowed families to maintain involvement and connection with the corporation across generations. Issuing 50 shares to new enrollees is designed to strike a balance between welcoming descendants and not creating a huge divide of how many original shares are now held by individuals.
Will there be a blood quantum requirement? No. An amendment to ANCSA allowed for the removal of the requirement. The 2024 survey showed that shareholders support removing the requirement. So while drafting the resolution, the board eliminated it. It is important to be as inclusive as possible of our descendants.
What will be the impact of new shares? While opening enrollment may increase the number of shareholders, its impact on dividends will depend on multiple factors. Every year, the board uses a formula that considers overall financial performance. Dividends may also be impacted by the amount of other shareholder benefits paid, such as elder and bereavement assistance and scholarships. The board is committed to growing the company and continuing to provide benefits to current and future shareholders.
Will distributions continue to decrease as more descendants enroll? Leadership remains committed to a strategic growth plan that prioritizes predictable and meaningful benefits for an expanding shareholder base should open enrollment occur. Adding shareholders may affect per-share dividends, but the outcome depends on many factors, including BSNC's financial performance and the number of shares in circulation. Over time, as holders of life estate shares pass on, their shares are canceled. This means that while some shares are added, others are removed, naturally offsetting some of the shareholder growth.
We're excited to present this resolution to you. It represents our continued commitment to listening to shareholders and planning for the future. If you have any questions about the open enrollment resolution, feel free to reach out to us at comms@beringstraits.com. Your input and engagement are vital as we navigate this important decision together. Your voice matters. Together we are honoring our legacy and empowering our future.